Devon cross-surfaced from the black depths of unconsciousness, not into the sterile, clinical white of a human med bay, but into a world painted in bruised violets and shimmering silvers. His body was a map of agony, every nerve screaming a reminder of the plasma blast that had turned his transport into shrapnel. The last thing he remembered was the smell of burning metal and the red dirt of a border planet drinking his blood. Yet, here he was, breathing. The curved walls around him pulsed with a soft, biological rhythm, shifting hues like a mood ring, while strange, humming instruments floated in the air, defying gravity and human understanding. It's a strange thing, waking up in the belly of the beast only to find it warm. In stories of war, we are taught to expect dungeons, not bioluminescent sanctuaries. A movement caught his eye, light as a falling leaf. She emerged from behind a translucent partition, and Devon's breath hitched. She was a Vexari, the enemy his people had been slaughtering for 12 years. But she was small, barely 5 feet tall, with skin that rippled like moonlight on dark water. 4 delicate arms moved with symphonic precision. 2 adjusted the living bandages on his skin, while the other 2 danced across holographic displays. Her face was heart-shaped, dominated by large, amber eyes that glowed in the dim light. When those eyes met his, the fear he should have felt was replaced by an inexplicable calm. "You should not be conscious yet," she said, her voice a melody human chords could never replicate. "I am Sela. You are at Medical Station Theta 7, 15 kilometers behind Vexari lines." Devon's tactical mind tried to engage, prisoner, escape, resist, but the pain was a heavy fog. "Why save me?" he rasped. Sela's skin flushed a deep, emotive purple. "Because I am a healer. I found you dying, and I could not let you go, even if you are human." The air in the room shifted, heavy with unseen consequences. Before Devon could press her, the door dissolved. 2 figures entered, carrying the weight of authority. One was Commander Vorth, a towering soldier scarred by ritual and war, his hand resting on a weapon. The other was Elder Thessa, her lavender skin faded with centuries of wisdom. "You invoked the blood covenant, child," Thessa said, her voice heavy with ancient law. "You used sacred methods on an outsider." The revelation that followed hit Devon harder than the plasma blast. By saving him with the sacred arts, Sela had created a debt that could not be dismissed. The Vexari laws, older than star travel, offered a brutal binary. The saved must bond with the healer as a mate, or the healer must end the life they saved. If Sela refused, she would be branded an oathbreaker, exiled to a fate worse than death. Marry or die, Devon thought, the absurdity of it almost laughable if not for the terror in Sela's amber eyes. Vorth drew a curved blade, eager to solve the equation with blood. Sela threw her small frame between them, all 4 arms spread in fierce defiance. "I will not let you murder him," she declared. Devon looked at her, this tiny, trembling alien who had defied her own people to save an enemy. The choice wasn't tactical, it was visceral. "I accept," he said, his voice cutting through the tension. "I will bond with you, Sela." The decision set the wheels of fate turning. That night, under the gaze of 3 silver moons filtering through a transparent dome, they stood before Elder Thessa. Vorth watched from the shadows, a vulture waiting for a corpse. The ceremony was a dizzying blend of ritual and biochemistry. Thessa presented 2 vials glowing with inner light. Sela drank from the silver one, tasting of starlight and honey, then offered the rest to Devon. Next came the gold, tasting of summer storms and wild electricity. As Devon swallowed, the universe seemed to snap into a new focus. A connection, tangible and electric, bridged the gap between them. He didn't just see Sela, he felt her. He felt the flutter of anxiety in her chest, the warmth of her hope, and a current of attraction that shocked him. He pushed his own feelings back through the link, gratitude, admiration, and a growing fascination. Sela's eyes went wide as she received his truth. "The bond is pure," Thessa announced, binding their hands with a glowing cord. "What is joined here can only be separated by death." For 3 weeks, the war outside ceased to exist within the walls of their quarters. They navigated the strange geography of their new life. Devon learned that Sela hummed when she worked and that her skin flushed purple with pleasure. Sela discovered Devon's gentle humor and the protective warmth of his embrace. The chemical intensity of the bond faded, replaced by something far more dangerous, genuine love. They were 2 anomalies, a glitch in the program of hate that governed their galaxy. But peace is often just the eye of the storm. Devon woke to Sela shaking him, her panic flooding their mental link like ice water. "We have to leave. Now." Vorth had dug into Devon's records. He wasn't just a grunt, he was a tactical intelligence officer. Vorth had spun a narrative of espionage, claiming the bonding was a cover for treason. A tribunal was set for dawn, with execution the only likely verdict. "There is a neutral zone, 40 kilometers away," Sela whispered, shoving a pack and a weapon into his hands. "If we reach it, we can claim asylum." They moved like shadows through the station's veins, slipping out an airlock just as the alarms began to scream. The planet's surface was a hostile expanse of sharp rock and thin air. Devon's lungs burned, his healing injuries protesting every step, but Sela was a relentless force, guiding them through canyons and over ridges. Behind them, the lights of pursuit vehicles cut through the darkness. They ran until their hearts hammered against their ribs like trapped birds, relying on their bond to communicate without words. As the first light of dawn bled into the sky, the shimmering energy barrier of the neutral zone appeared, a curtain of salvation less than a kilometer away. But Vorth was waiting. He stepped out from the rocks, his squad blocking the path, weapon raised. "Did you think you could escape justice?" he sneered. "You are traitors." Devon stepped in front of Sela, but she moved to his side, her hand finding his. "We are survivors," she said, her voice steady. Vorth's finger tightened on the trigger. Devon braced for the end. A thunderous crack echoed, but it wasn't Vorth's weapon. The commander's gun exploded in his hand, sending him staggering. On a ridge above, Elder Thessa stood with a heavy weapon smoking in her ancient grasp. "Go, children," she commanded, her voice ringing with authority. "Your love is too precious for this war." They didn't hesitate. Hand in hand, they sprinted toward the barrier, Vorth's furious shouts fading behind them. They plunged through the energy field, collapsing onto the dusty earth of the neutral zone. Human soldiers surrounded them instantly, rifles leveled. Devon raised his hands, pulling Sela close against his chest. "Corporal Devon Cross, Earth Alliance Intelligence," he gasped, his voice raw, "requesting asylum for myself and my bonded mate." The soldiers stared at the four-armed alien clinging to him, suspicion etched on their faces. But the commanding officer, a stern captain, saw the desperation and the undeniable connection between them. "Asylum granted," she said finally, "but you have a lot of explaining to do, Corporal." That night, in the safety of a temporary shelter, the adrenaline finally receded. Devon and Sela lay on a simple cot, entangled in a way that defied species and logic. Through their bond, they shared a profound relief, a silence louder than the war they had left behind. "What happens now?" Sela whispered, her bioluminescence casting a soft, rhythmic glow on the canvas walls. "Now," Devon said, kissing her forehead, "we build a life. No more running, just us." Sela looked up, her amber eyes shimmering with tears and joy. "I love you, Devon Cross," she said, the words bridging the final gap between their worlds. "My tiny, fierce, beautiful mate," Devon replied, pulling her closer. In a universe determined to keep them apart, they had found the only thing worth keeping. Outside, the galaxy burned, but in the shelter of their arms, a new world was just beginning.